Hey guys, Jason Bell with B&B Hardware. So today we're gonna go over tube motors. Now, I'll preface this by saying this is in no way an exhaustive list of tube motors. This is just some basic information that will help you to understand tube motors a little bit better and maybe help you to make better decisions on what motor you might specify for some type of application. So we have several other videos specifying Roman shade kit tube motors and also NRS motors. NRS motors are for this style head rail and have a number of different types of motors that can be applied to this system. And then also we have our Roman shade kits, which also can have a number of different types of tube motors applied to those as well. So please go back and watch those videos. They're very helpful in understanding a little bit more about those kits specifically. So as it pertains to motors in general, one of the most important things to determine in your application is what is the power source for that application. So luckily you have a number of different options for types of power. The first one I'm going to talk about is a low voltage powered tube motor. All the motors that I'll show you today are going to be from Somfy. They're a great brand. They have a great warranty, very reliable. They compete with everything that's out there on the market, and they have a product for just about every single application imaginable. This tube motor is low voltage. Now, the confusing portion of low voltage is some people believe that this is something that you have to get power from a distribution box, and this is not the case. Low voltage just specifies that the voltage running to this motor is a lower amount. Some of these are 12 volt, some of them are 24 volt. This motor specifically it has a pigtail on the end of it. This pigtail is removed, and you have this black portion here of the pigtail. This pigtail is then attached to either a transformer or a low voltage wire that is running back to some area that has either another transformer or some type of power distribution box. This is what you will typically see when a client is requesting that you have a low voltage motor, or they're wanting to not have something that's plugged into a wall. So with that being said, I'm going to step up to this guy. This is a Sana S40. If you see, it has a large AC power cable coming out of it. It does not have your 3-prong plug on the end of it. This would be something where you could tie into a junction box that would be in a wall somewhere, or also you could order this and it come with a plug that you could plug into a close outlet. Now, why would you want this motor? The primary reason is it's much more powerful. So if you have a large shade that you need to get a lot of power to move that shade, you're going to want something that has a lot of power. Now, not to negate the power of this motor, it is also powerful, and it will lift quite a bit of fabric. But if you know you have something that's very large, you do not want to have to worry about it not being able to pull up that fabric, then you need to go with something a little bit larger that may need to have AC power or 110 power, which there are a number of different motors that are available for that. The next option is our battery powered options. The first one I'll show you is this little fella right here. All right. So this is just the motor. There is no power for this motor currently right now. This motor needs a battery pack. All right. So this is the battery pack that comes with this motor. It plugs into this pigtail here, into here. And then this is secured either on your Roman shade kit or along the wall or somewhere where the client can access it easily. The great benefit of this motor specifically is you can get a very narrow shade. Whereas if you get a motor that has a battery internal, we'll take this fella, pull him apart. And as you can see, this motor is much longer. It needs space inside of it for that battery pack to be internal. Now, how do we charge these battery powered motors? It's a great question. So we have two devices here that we recommend for all of the battery powered tube motors. The first is a magnetic adapter. This magnetic adapter attaches to the port here on this head rail, or if you have the external battery pack, it attaches right here. So when this is plugged in, it will be placed somewhere on the wall or somewhere obscure, we can't see it. And then when the client wants to charge it, we would provide a rigid adapter. This adapter can be stretched out, and on one end of it, it has a magnetic adapter. When this is placed on the wall, you can take this and reach up, and it just snaps into place. So this is really useful for high areas. And some tricks of the trade that we've seen is people will actually attach this to some other device like a paint roller stick, something that they can extend out and can easily access that magnetic adapter. So quick recap on this. Power-wise, we have external battery, internal battery, low voltage, standard voltage AC. Now, how can you control these motors? These motors can operate via Zigbee or RTS. And there's a number of different options for all the motors. Not all of them operate off Zigbee, and not all of them operate off RTS. The questions about RTS and Zigbee and whether or not it's the right protocol for your application is going to vary based on your application. And we would need to have some discussions prior to speccing your automation before we can answer some of those questions. If you have any other questions about tube motors, please feel free to contact us. Thanks so much and have a good one.